Right, let's get going now. Round we go. My name's Sensei Ian Swain and I'm the senior instructor at Dojo Karate Club. I've been sort of involved in karate for getting on 40 years now. I first started karate at the age of 8 years old at the racecourse estate in Sale, and I then continued training and eventually took over the club at the age of 18, and I've been the instructor since then. Sale Dojo basically is our club. Dojo sort of interprets from the Japanese place of the way, which basically means that it's a place where we do Japanese martial arts, whether it be in karate, which I'm involved with, judo, aikido, jiu-jitsu. So it's just basically a place where we train. I sort of finished competing in karate. I was about 32. And then I was sort of involved in training for sort of years and years and years, and then I thought, what am I going to do with my time? So I felt I had to give something back to the sport. So it was always a dream of mine to open up a full-time dojo. I'd sort of been working through schools and halls and things like that, so I thought it's about time I sort of got off my backside and put something back to the sport. So I finished competing and just jumped into this like 100%, and obviously this is what we've got today. It's just my baby, I suppose. It's something that I've built, and something I've seen grow and want to push on. So it's probably like a second home to me, because I probably spend more time I do here than I do in my home anyway. And certainly my children come down here. My oldest daughter trains down here. My two boys come down and just mess about usually. Unfortunately, they don't want to train, but we can't have everything. They do other sports, so that's okay. But no, it's part of it's my second home, part of my family's second home. It's sort of like a sequence of moves, it's sort of like dance moves that you've got to remember, the sort of set moves. The idea is you're supposed to be fighting an imaginary opponent. So they must be done certain timing, certain strength, good balance, posture, and obviously in a particular sort of speed and strength. Kumite is fighting, either sparring or competition fighting, where the one who scores the most points is the first to 8 points, and a body punch being 1 point, and a head kick being 3 points, with sort of various sort of different rules for sort of contact or actually leaving the area and things like that. Makawara is pad work, where we use strike shields, and again you're trying to improve your technique, your power, obviously hip rotation and things like that. So Kion is the basics of karate, the stances, the way we punch, the way we block, the way we kick. So we have to have good Kion to do all the other aspects, whether it's you're fighting the kumite, the kata, which is the patterns, or the makawara, which is pad work. So probably the most important thing is the Kion, which again we spend more time than ever on, but is the most boring bit of karate. I've had some fantastic guys over the years. Like I said, we've been involved in karate for such a long time. At the moment we've got two athletes going to the European Championships, Kelly Horsfall and Natalie Payne, both kata people, which is sort of patterns. That they're training extremely hard. Again, trying to get the balance between being at university, doing sort of exams and things, coming down here doing the training and training in the gym and doing everything else. So one or two sort of kids coming through who will probably make sort of national level, maybe push them a little bit hard for international level, but we'll see. But we've got lots of sort of young kids coming through, but the future's good. It looks good, and certainly the top athletes are doing really well. We've got numerous sort of titles down here, lots of English, British champions and things like that. I suppose the most elusive is the European and the world medals. We've had one or two kids sort of pick up bronzes, but never any more than that. We've had lots of people go to world championships, and I mentioned Natalie that this year she come fifths in the European championships. She got beat in the rapid charge final for bronze. Probably was one of the favourites to do it. I think the ability's there. I think the big problem we've got is certainly international level. You compete with countries who have got full-time athletes. We have to fund ourselves or do fundraising. And you've got the countries such as France or say Turkey or sort of places like that who just give their athletes thousands of pounds to sort of train them. Basically, you just help them on the way. Our guys have to go out and do a do maybe a part-time job, study and then train. So you're sort of not on a level playing field. Hopefully we've just been accepted into the Olympics, so we're looking hopefully down the line that Sport England will pump some money into karate, and hopefully our athletes then will then start competing on a level footing. We've got top sort of class people in our country who can sort of compete with the top, but we have to be funded. It's like everything else, unfortunately, it comes down to money. Myself personally, mainly Europe. I've been to some sort of fantastic places and places you probably normally wouldn't go. I mean, obviously most people just go to Spain or to Greece for holiday, but I've been to places like Azerbaijan, Serbia. Like I sort of say, I've been to lots of parts of Eastern Europe, and obviously mainly Germany, France, Spain, them kind of countries as well. Probably the best place I've been to, I fought in South Africa. We stayed in Johannesburg, and the competition itself was in a place called Sun City, which is where all the sort of rich and famous go on holiday, and that was fantastic. So probably Sun City is the best place I've been to, but again, I've been all over the place. Very, very lucky, very lucky.
Sensei, right? Happy right?